Just kind of wanted to show you this. These are those grates, like the grates that go in the floor that we're making. Um, they're varying widths, so we can keep some of them typical, but they vary in widths depending on the trench configuration. But anyways, here they are. What I've done is taken the rebar. We put cross supports going across every 12 inches. And then we just kind of space these out so nothing big could fall down in there. Nothing real big. I mean, you couldn't get some chick to walk over it with high heels on, but it's a shop. So what we did, we made one 10-footer, put it into my floor over there on the other side of the stairs, and drove a truck over it. Now we did get a little flex out of it, but we got flex out of it because the concrete edges are in one spot are bad, and it flexed down where there was no concrete support underneath it. So, but the actually the thing is good for weight on it. We've got a couple of spots over in the area that we're putting these in where the concrete's bad, and what we're going to do is put little metal legs on the bottom of it, and I think he's going to have a put little metal legs on it and put it in, and then he's going to have a concrete guy come in and patch, as you can see, the concrete, how bad the concrete is around the edges of it. What he's going to have a guy come in and do is chip out the bad stuff and form it up to these grates. So I'll bring you back and show you the rest of it, or actually when we put them in too. This is those grates, and what we've done is we just cut the cross pieces for whatever width the trench is, and then lay them out. Now what we do is we've cut a little couple of spacers and space the bars apart that way. They're working out pretty good. They're pretty strong. Originally he wanted to go 2 foot on centers for these, but I didn't think that would support it, and it wouldn't have, because what we did is made a test one and then drove a truck over it. And this one, it flexes a little bit, but even with driving a tow motor over it, we backed a truck over it, the back end of a truck over it, and it didn't flex at all. What we're getting though is, because there's variations in the trenches themselves, in the lips of the trench, it kind of rocks in there sometimes. So I think you need to keep that flex into this a little bit, just to compensate for that too, so that it kind of can give with it as it needs to. Probably over time it'll form itself to wood's location, but you know, that's a good thing. But what I do is just tack this thing out. I originally did it with a short sleeve shirt on, and kind of got sunburned or welder burned. I don't have a self-darkening helmet, and all they are is kind of like tacks on this thing. So I was kind of doing it with no helmet, just trying to look away, but sometimes the wire would miss, or the wire would jam up, and I would get arc flashes, and I kind of suffered the other night from it. Woke up in the middle of the night with a little arc burn in the eye, but all is good. I'm just going to show it to you. What I've got now is I've just got a pair of dark glasses for cutting. So it helps a lot. What I do is shield the direct arc with the tip of the torch, and so all I'm getting is just residual light from the offset of it. So that's that one. I had done the other side previously. So what I'll do is I'll bring you back. I'll take you over and show it to you after it's in. I'll kind of show you our cutoff area too. Different from mine. He brought his own cutoff saw over, so we'll show you. I'll show you how we do that. So I think this is the last one that's going into that new space. Now I've still got material left over, and the landlord was talking about making some grates in some other spaces. Not sure that I've got a lot of material or enough material to do a lot of grates left over, but I do. We do have material left over. I'm going to probably have to modify this one. The last one that I built, I had to modify it too, because the rails on the inside of the trench where these grates set down into, let's not call them rails, let's call them ledges, were uneven. And I had to actually build it up an inch to keep it even with the floor on the last one. So it was progressive. It kind of drops off, so it was built up an inch at the end, and I think it extended back to here, and then the rest of the trench from that point back was fine. Now this is a piece that's going to match up to that, so I'm probably going to have to do the same thing with this one, but I'll bring you back, and what I'll do is I'll shoot a video of it showing it in the trenches. One of the things that I didn't discuss with you is how I formed up that inch difference where the ledge was down, and I had to build up the bottom of the angle iron. So I'm going to utilize the hole in the welding table for one. So the angle iron is formed like this, coming down here, and what I did is took that 1/2 inch rebar and put it in there, two of them like that, and then one like this, and build up the bottom part of the angle iron to help support where the ridge in the concrete, saying this is the concrete here, would have been formed like that. So anyways, I just wanted to kind of show you what I did in that spot to build that up. So more videos to come. That last clip that I shot regarding the grates, were the grates installed into that area that where the tenants moved out, and he's got some new tenants that are moving in, and we redid the grates in there for them. You'll notice I didn't talk in it. There was a guy, there's an office in there, and there was a guy in that office on the phone, so I really didn't want to disturb him, even though it's a tenant that's moving out. He had some business to conduct, and didn't want to disturb him. But I did want to show you a shot of the grates being installed. One of the things that I kind of focused the camera on towards the end was the concrete had spalled up or broken up along the grate edge, and I'm pretty sure my landlord is going to repair that. Now, I had this same problem in my shop here a lot, and this is kind of the grating by the welding table, and as you can see, the concrete is broken up. In a lot of cases that presented a problem. It presents a problem to me. I mean, I can work around it, I can get around it. It just presents kind of a problem. You know, you can't park a car over it and expect to, here's another area over here, park a vehicle over it and expect to get a dolly underneath it to work on it. First of all, you got the grating, and then second of all, you've got that big concrete divot that's missing in there. So, I mean, it presents a problem, but he's going to address that in that new area. I just kind of wanted to let you know that why I shot the clip and wasn't talking, and that those issues with the concrete will be addressed.